Hello and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and want to see more. Coming up, OKR star just wants to play, and a Rabbitoh wants a World Cup date. So ever since the Rugby League World Cup has been announced that it will go ahead in October and November, there have been complications in regards to Australia's participation. At one point they were saying we're leaving it up to the players. At second point they were saying, oh, there's a possibility we won't go because of COVID and player welfare, and you heard all the NRL broadcasters coming out with the same type of comments. You heard them saying, no, they're not going to go, and things like that. My worst Australian accent, so I apologise about that. And there was only Trent Robinson and possibly Craig Bellamy, the two coaches in the NRL, who were saying, yes, go ahead with a Rugby League World Cup, or it's up to the players. The players are able to do what they want. But the NRL was citing player burnout with the agreement with the Australian Rugby League Commission for having about 6 weeks rest between the tournament and the next season. I think that's more to do with commercial rather than the actual player welfare side of it. That's my only guessing on it. The reason why I'm bringing this up now is that there has been a top star in the NRL. Well, not a top star, but nearly up there. Player that's consistent all the way through, but plays for one of the top teams. And that's Rabbitoh's halfback Damien Cook. In an interview with the Australian, South Sydney's Origin star Damien Cook has declared his desire to play in the World Cup for Australia. Despite the hangover, the Kangaroos' participation, doubts hanging over the participation in the England-based event. Australians are yet to commit officially to the World Cup, which will be played across Great Britain for 5 weeks from October the 23rd. Cookie, though, is happy to travel to England for the Cup, even if it means that he has to leave his family following an already full-on NRL season inside the Queensland-based hub. Cook said, look, if it is going to be a long time away from home, but I'm not passing up the opportunity to be a part of the World Cup, that is for sure. The opportunity to play in a World Cup, if I was selected, I'd want to be part of it. I understand they have to go through the right things to make sure they protect the players, but if it is a chance to go to a World Cup and I'm picked, I want to go over there. So that's a great statement for the Rugby League World Cup, as one of the players who are vocal in Sydney, which is usually the hub of Rugby League in Australia, coming out and saying he wants to play. If picked, he will play. To be honest, he will be picked for the Australia squad if they decide to go. I know there's a lot of discussions to go, but we're less than 100 days out from the World Cup now, and it needs clarification. Australia need to make the plans. Their squads need to be announced just before the grand final. Don't forget, you can still get COVID through no matter what happens, and the bubbles must be in place, and the playing camps must be not cross-contaminated. There's a certain amount of things that the Rugby League World Cup will be looking into, but when Australia show their intent to be involved in this World Cup, signing that letter, we can have this tournament and things will need to be put into place. The UK government have put in an awful lot of money to put this showcase on, and it will stimulate an economy. Now, the ball is back in the Rugby League of Australia's possession. But when we hear things like that from stars, and I'm sure we'll hear more as the time goes on, contributing to that, we will have a Rugby League World Cup with every participating nation. So now some fallout from this weekend's Challenge Cup game that's just gone. As St Helens Betfred Super League fixture against Hull KR, scheduled for Friday the 23rd of July, has unfortunately been postponed under COVID fixture protocols. As per the RFL COVID protocols, the club's lateral flow tested all of its squad before the trip to Wembley, and the Challenge Cup final came back with results all negative. Following the travel from Wembley, the whole squad and the coaching staff were lateral flow tested again on the Friday at the Totally Wicked Stadium on the Monday. But the club's before the club's homecoming parade, that same evening, organised with the St Helens Council and in line with the government protocols, all the players who were represented on the homecoming parade bus returned negative lateral flow tests. One player who was not part of the squad at Wembley returned with... Unfortunately, one player who was not part of the 21-man squad at Wembley returned a positive lateral flow test. The club therefore made the sensible decision to then PCR test the whole squad and the coaching staff, with the health and well-being of the players and their families being paramount. The PCR test has since returned a further 2 positive tests, which have subsequently led to a large number of the squad having to self-isolate through track and trace and close contacts. So it's a sad time that happened, but Saints are doing the sensible thing for it, as there are now more than 7 of the top 25 players being required to isolate, meaning the game has to be postponed under the COVID fixture protocols. The postponed fixture will be added to the list of possible rearrangements, although the Betfred Super League table will be determined by win points percentage to allow the possibility of not all fixtures being fulfilled. So it's a bit of a sad state of affairs because of the COVID protocols issues. But on the positive news, well, in some other news, it has got to do with Hull KR, who were Saints' opponents going into this weekend's game on the Friday. As they've decided to play the Catalan Dragons on the 24th. Catalan were due to play to Castleford Tigers on this Saturday, but the Tigers have also got more than 7 players out of their top 25 requiring to isolate due to COVID test positives and also close contacts. So they've been allowed to postpone that game as well. So Hull KR have come out and decided that they will make the shift and go down to France. Because of this, Karen Morehouse, the RFL's chief regulative officer, said the growing number of postponements will reflect the prevalence of COVID-19 in the society. It's a major concern for rugby league as a sport, as for other sports as well. In that context, Hull KR's willingness to arrange their away fixture against Catalan Dragons is an example of the flexibility that served the sport so well through 2020, and which may be required to do over the weeks and months coming. Furthering on from this statement from the RFL, Rodri Jones, the Super League commercial manager, said I would like to thank OKR for their willingness to accommodate a late fixture change to this week's schedule and helping ensure a game goes ahead in Perpignan. So that's the team going ahead saying we want to play no matter what happens. But as of St Helens and Castleford, discussions are ongoing over the impact of the situation on the further fixtures next week, with an announcement to be made as soon as possible in regards to those. You can find for Saints fans, you can find all the information about refund details should the fixture be cancelled permanently on the St Helens website at www.sthelensrlfc.com and contact the ticket office there. So that's it for another video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember, like, subscribe, and share the video with all your mates, your friends, whoever. We need to grow this game. We're doing it. The leagues don't seem to be doing it. Not the traditional ones anyhow. But with you and me, we can do it all ourselves, eh? Anyway, thank you once more for watching the video. All the best, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.